Hello, everybody. It's time for NHK World Radio Japan Easy Japanese. I'm your host, Michelle Yamamoto.
And I'm Jonathan Shear. Let's have fun learning Japanese together.
Today we'll learn Lesson 12. Today's key sentence is
いつ日本に来ましたか?
When did you come to Japan?
The main character of our skit is Anna, an international student from Thailand. Today, there's a party being held at the dormitory for foreign students where Anna lives.
Now let's listen to the skit for Lesson 12.
ロドリゴさんはいつ日本に来ましたか？
3月に来ました。
もう日本の生活に慣れた？
まあ。
Okay, let's go over the skit. Sakura asked Rodrigo.
ロドリゴさんはいつ日本に来ましたか?
Rodrigo, when did you come to Japan?
ロドリゴさん
is the name Rodrigo with the honorific title, san attached.
は
is the particle indicating a topic.
いつ
is when.
日本
is Japan.
に
is a particle indicating places, times, or situations. Here, it indicates to where somebody has moved.
来ました
is came. It's the past form of the verb.
来ます
to come.
か
is a particle. Remember that if you add it at the end of a sentence and say the sentence with a rising intonation, you can turn the sentence into a question. Rodrigo answers,
3月に来ました
I came in March.
3月
is March. It consists of the number
3
3 and the word meaning month.
月
Ni is a particle. Here it indicates a point of time.
来ました
is came.
Michelle, could you please teach us how to say the months?
Okay. When you want to say which month, you just add gatsu to a number. But please keep in mind, for 4, 7, and 9, you use the other ways of saying those numbers.
4 7 9
April is,
4月
July is,
7月
September is.
9月
Alright, let's go back to the skit. Sakura asks Rodrigo,
もう日本の生活に慣れた?
Have you got used to living in Japan by now?
も
is yet, already, or by now. It's an adverb. Nihon is Japan.
うの
is a particle linking nouns.
生活
is living or life. So,
日本の生活
means living in Japan or life in Japan. Here, the particle
に
in 日本の生活に indicates a situation.
慣れた
is got used to or have got used to. It is the past form of
慣れます
to get used to. It also expresses the perfective aspect.
Now, wait a second. I thought the past form of naremasu is naremashita, right?
That's right. The casual way of saying
慣れました
got used to or have got used to is 慣れた. 慣れた ends with ta. Verbs that end with ta are called ta form verbs. Rodrigo then answers,
まあ
yeah, to some extent. is yeah. It's an answer in the affirmative, but if you say
まあ
it becomes equivocal affirmation, meaning a bit unsure. Now it's time for the segment Teacher's Teacher, where the program's supervisor, Professor Akane Tokunaga, teaches us today's point for learning.
Today we learned about ta form verbs. Can you please teach us how to change the mas form of verbs to the ta form?
Okay, let's ask our teacher.
私が教えましょう。
Here's what she says. The ta form of verbs is the conjugation form of verbs that ends with ta or da. It is the past or the perfect aspect of verbs. Let me explain how you can change the masu form to the ta form. The basic pattern is to change masu to ta.
慣れます。
To get used to becomes
慣れた。
You notice that in 慣れます, the syllable just before mas is re, and its vowel is e. This pattern applies to all the verbs with the vowel in the syllable just before mas is e, and some verbs with the vowel in the syllable just before mas is i. In the other pattern, you not only change mas, but also one syllable just before it. For example, if the syllable just before mas is di, you change di and mas together. So, dimas becomes ta.
集まります。
To gather becomes
集まった。
This rule also applies when the syllable before mas is i or chi. Here too you change i or chi and mas together to ta. If the syllable just before masu is mi, ni, or bi, you change both the syllable and masu to nda. For example,
読みます。
to read becomes.
読んだ。
Let's memorize this by a song.
1リッターミニ瓶だ1リッターミニ瓶だ
Now if the syllable before masu is ki, you change the syllable and masu to ita. So,
聞きます。
to listen to becomes.
聞いた。
If the syllable before masu is gi, you change the syllable and masu to ida.
急ぎます。
To hurry up becomes.
急いだ。行きます。
To go is the only exception to this rule. It becomes.
行った。
Now the song for this part is.
きたきだいったきたきだいった
You may have noticed that the way to make the ta form verbs is the same as how to make te form verbs, which you learned in lesson 8 and 9. Just replace te with ta and de with da. Next up is our corner for sound words.
Wow, that sounds like everyone is having a really good time.
Yes, we have a word to describe when a lot of people are having a good time together.
わいわい。
Why white?
There's another way to describe a crowd.
ガヤガヤ。
This describes how a large number of people are making a lot of noise, talking to one another. Can you tell?
Before we close, Anna looks back on today's events and tweets. It's Anna's tweets.
今日は
Everyone loved my Thai curry. I hear Japan has curry of its own style, and it's very popular, especially among children. Did you enjoy lesson 12?
The party continues in the next episode.
So join us again.
Sayonara.